Hi, I am Alitio. I am an animation student and I will be doing a Mise scene to the Ryan animated documentary. In my personal opinion, the purpose of the documentary is to let us meet somebody who was once a great animator, to make a visual presentation of our mental health in a way that we could never see, and to show how badly it can destroy and have a huge impact in our life. It also shows that anybody can become a Ryan at any point of their lives. I will also be comparing the two main characters to show how the documentary puts both in the same level, as if Chris was just one more of them in the shelter. Since a specific location isn't given, I will start by breaking down the scene. As we look to the scene, we see some kind of metal structure on the roof going from one point of the room to another. We see big and cheap factory kind of lamps lined throughout the room, giving a greyish light to the room. We also see big, cheap and old-fashioned fans as signs of what not to do in the walls. Looking to the floor, we can see that the room is big, filled with long, cheap wooden tables. We can also see chairs, where nobody is sitting on, giving the room a feeling of being empty, suggesting to me loneliness. Ryan is first presented as a great animator that he once was through dialogue. But his image shows something different. The scene shows a destroyed old man, fragile and hopeless. His clothes also look old, cheap and a bit dirty, like homeless. As Ryan and Chris start talking, they seem to be from equal superiority. Both characters are balanced equally in the scenes. Both will be seen at the center of the screen with the same focus. Ryan is constantly looking sharp in the shots, but the same doesn't happen when they discuss something bad. As problems are mentioned, Ryan is presented differently. Ryan starts to look less sharp. His face appearance changes with emotions and gets messier and messier as more problems come. As that happens, he will appear in unbalanced shots, suggesting to me depression. At this point, it's already known that he is lost. His failure brings to him depression, and the documentary suggests to us a reason for his failure, making his focus in an object charged with symbolic value by repetition, special visual, and even making it being part of a dialogue.
Today I asked Ryan if I could record our conversation.
Now more and more Ryan's emotion change his physical appearance, suggesting to me that he is confused, disturbed, depressed and even angry. This next scene is presented in black and white, which makes the scene already dramatic. Ryan's body language shows that he is lost. He has been placed in the center of a circular light coming from above, which its entrance is not shown, suggesting that is a way out that he can't reach. The circular light is surrounded by darkness, suggesting loneliness, also giving the impression that he is trapped and there is no way out. His facial expression shows despair and depression. Now we will talk about Chris. At the very beginning, the documentary used Chris as a tool, introducing us to the representation of the mental health in a physical body, showing his destroyed body on the mirror and linking to his mental issues through dialogue, suggesting that somehow, like Ryan, many people is destroyed in different ways.
My name is Chris and I'm here to explain some things. These are from October 1989, when my unbridled romantic worldview was permanently shattered. This is from September 1982, when I underwent a catastrophic loss of my ability to organize my finances in any meaningful way. But before all that, I took on a paralyzing, self-defeating, all-pervading dread of personal failure.
Again, like Ryan, at the beginning Chris is presented as something superior, as a dominant. He is the main focus. In this scene we see drawings on the table, the blue teacup, microphones, Chris and Ryan. However, the scene has been set to make Chris look superior. If we divide the screen in half with the horizontal line in the middle of the screen, you get a top image with Chris and a bottom image with Ryan. Now we will analyze both to see what makes Chris superior. The bottom image is completely filled with objects, drawings, etc. Is full of mess and with the same kind of focus as Ryan, making hard to focus on Ryan. On the top image is all clear and empty, giving straight focus to Chris, which happens to be looking sharp, no objects, no big mess. When we look at Chris, we can see that his body language, unlike Ryan, is in straight posture, crossing leg and arm, which in body language creates a barrier, so it also shows that Chris is in control. If we talk about positioning, we look at the bottom image and we see that Ryan is pushed to the corner, fighting for space with the rest of the objects, while when looking to the top image, Chris is right on the center of The screen, even if we consider full screen, Chris still be in the center and Ryan at the inferior right corner. If we think about lighting, we can also see the top image has slightly more signs of light than the bottom image. You can see the brightness of the light on Chris' arm, forehead, nose and even clothing, while on Ryan you will find none. Another thing that we want to analyze is the microphone's presence. Since the microphone didn't need to be shown in the screen, it's safe to say how the microphone is being charged with a symbolic value by repetition. In this scene, the microphone is important to show that at his point Ryan is being interrogated. You might notice that both microphones are pointed directly to Ryan, which to me suggests pressure. In this next scene, the camera is shooting from Ryan's shoulder looking down to Chris, making it feel as if he was inferior to Ryan, like it happened with Ryan. Now Chris shows sign of depression. Chris' emotions change his facial appearance, making him look confused. The background is all blur. It feels like everything paused and only Chris can move, as he is another dimension. At this moment, Chris is thinking to himself. Chris is also surrounded by microphones, which suggests that he is now under pressure and being questioned. As Chris dives into his mind, the camera zooms into Chris' face. Background still blurred, only his face is sharp, showing sadness, loneliness. Emotion signs suggest to me stress and confusion. Again, he is still surrounded by microphones that can be a sign of pressure. As he dives into his memories, he gets into a depression mode. The scene changed to a black and white dramatic scene. And as he deeps himself into his depressing memories, he starts consuming himself.
Every artist was
Paralyzing. I see the way that she went downhill, and I see the way that he's come to this point.
personal failure.
Personal failure.
We see things.